Here's what's happening now. Sunshine looks nice, but believe it or not, our next chance of rain is just right around the corner. We'll check in with it coming up. Rod?
Ford Motor Company makes a dramatic change. New CEO in the middle of the year. What's going on? And who is this new guy? We'll have the answers.
All right, Rod, plus taking the fifth, President Trump's former national security advisor Michael Flynn refusing to cooperate with the Senate Intelligence Committee. Why he says he won't turn over records. Plus, remembering a legend. Tributes continue to pour in for Chris Cornell after his untimely death here in Detroit. One band with local ties who's remembering him in song.
Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
A 31-year-old Detroit man is now charged in the hit-and-run crash that killed a 6-month-old boy. DeAndre Cody is facing 6 charges, including failure to stop, resulting in death, and driving with a suspended license. Prosecutors say he ran a stop sign Thursday at Puritan and Archdale before slamming into a minivan that had a woman and her 4 children inside. Trial has begun for the man accused of hitting and killing Michigan State Trooper Chad Wolf. The trooper was killed August 2015 on I-75. Charles Warren is accused of hitting Wolf and dragging him under a trailer for miles. Testimony today centered on whether Wolf's death was an accident or a criminal act. 69-year-old Warren is facing 15 years in prison if convicted. A driver has pled guilty to a deadly hit-and-run in Madison Heights. Police say 25-year-old Savian Zahra was driving the second car that hit 26-year-old Nadia Kassab while she crossed a street back on March 5th. Now police need your help finding the driver of the first car. So if you recognize this car or know anything about that accident, call Madison Heights Police. Ford Motor Company named James Hackett as the chief executive officer today, responding to investors' unease about the automaker's stock price and ability to withstand threats from longtime industry rivals and Silicon Valley. Rod Maloney breaks down the latest developments in this shakeup. Rod.
We all know that the automotive industry is about to change dramatically. Companies need to be smarter, faster, quicker, better. And Bill Ford said that while Mark Fields was delivering profitability, which is what they have to have, he wasn't seeing much of a plan from him, and he needed that.
A time of great change, in my mind, requires a transformational leader.
All right, so who is now going to take over the helm as CEO? His name is Jim Hackett, but you already know him because he is the guy that many believe did the impossible by talking Jim Harbaugh out of coming out of the NFL and joining the University of Michigan.
The future is really a source of optimism for both of us.
So there is a lot going on here. There are a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of reaction to all of this, like what the employees have to think. We'll have those stories and more coming up on Local 4 News at 5 and 6. In Dearborn, Rod Maloney, Local 4.
All right, thank you, Rod. Now, let's take a look at where Ford stock stands at this hour. The very latest, that's up 23 cents at $11.10. And for the rest of the big three, you can see as well. Make sure to stay tuned to Local 4. Rod Maloney will talk more about who exactly is Jim Hackett in a live report at 5. Time now for our first look at the forecast. The sun definitely out, but still feels a little chilly out there, Ben.
Yeah, good way to start a Monday, Karen. Looks nice out there. Temperatures relatively comfortable, but the winds are very noticeable. Those are anywhere between about 15 and 20 miles an hour. Metro reporting a west wind right now at 21. Temperatures a little bit below average for this time of year. Normally, we would be seeing these numbers in the low 70s. Not quite there, but we will get there tomorrow. Tonight, though, clouds start increasing. Temperatures will be sliding, but not too much. So it's going to be a crisp evening ahead of us. And we will start tracking our next chances of rain. Could be as soon as tonight in a couple spots. But we've got the holiday weekend in focus, and we'll check that out for you in a few minutes. Karen?
President Trump is in Israel today after a meeting with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. He says the two countries have a friendship built on working for peace.
A friendship built on our shared love of freedom, our shared belief in human dignity, and our shared hope for an Israel at lasting peace.
They also talked about the Israeli-Palestinian peace process, security issues, and working together in the future. But before that meeting even happened, President Trump became the first ever acting president to visit the Western Wall in Jerusalem, one of the holiest places. During his visit, Trump placed his hand on the wall for several seconds before tucking a note into a crack in the wall. He says seeing the wall was a great honor. And while much of the focus was on the USS's relationship with Israel, Trump made sure to clear up some questions regarding the Russian intel sharing controversy from last week.
Just so you understand, I never mentioned the word or the name Israel. Never mentioned it during that conversation.
Trump is accused of revealing highly classified information to Russian officials during a meeting earlier this month. Now he's heading back to the West Bank for a meeting with Palestinian leader Mahmoud Abbas while the investigation continues back home. Well, back in Washington, the man many see at the center of the investigation into Russian influence on last year's presidential election is not going to cooperate with congressional investigators. That man is retired Army General and former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn. Devin Skillian is live in the newsroom with the very latest developments. Devin.
Well, Karen, Michael Flynn served only 3 weeks as President Trump's National Security Advisor before he resigned, but it was what he did before taking that post that still has Washington churning now 3 months later. Today, Flynn let it be known that he's going to invoke his Fifth Amendment rights. He will not be testifying before a Senate committee. Michael Flynn was a one-time Army Lieutenant General, the director of the Defense Intelligence Agency under President Obama, but he was fired from that post, gravitated to the Trump presidential campaign, but his reported contacts with the Russian government officials led to his short tenure inside the new president's administration. 2 days after President Trump's inauguration, Flynn was sworn in as the National Security Advisor, resigning just 3 weeks later as reports emerged that he had meetings with Russia's ambassador to the U.S. during the transition period. The Senate Intelligence Committee issued a subpoena to have Flynn turn over records, but today he refused to cooperate, invoking his Fifth Amendment protection against self-incrimination. He cites a, quote, escalating public frenzy for refusing to turn over his records. So while Flynn won't be talking to Congress, former FBI Director James Comey is going to be testifying. President Trump fired Comey, of course, in an FBI investigation into Flynn and the Russian influence on last year's elections. Comey is going to go before the Senate Intelligence Committee. We expect that's going to happen next week. Karen, back to you.
All right. Thank you, Devin. Meantime, President Trump's budget is expected to be revealed tomorrow, and many are predicting major cuts. Highlighting the cuts is an $800 billion reduction in Medicaid funds, which is contingent on the new Republican health care bill becoming law. Along with cuts to Medicaid, reports say the White House will give states more flexibility on work requirements for people in anti-poverty programs. All this as a new report claims Trump's proposed border wall threatens 93 endangered and threatened species. The report comes from the Center for Biological Diversity, which protects endangered animals in the Southwest United States. They say the new wall will divide the habitats of 57 endangered animals, including jaguars, gray wolves, and pygmy owls. Along with the dividing the land, the wall would also destroy thousands of acres where many of those animals live. Fourth grade students over at Hoover Elementary School in Livonia are working on a global education project through the National Wildlife Federation. Paula Tutman is live at the school this afternoon to show us how it all works. Hi, Paula.
Hey, Karen. Yeah, we all know that a fourth grader's job is to play, right? Well, today at this particular school, that agenda also includes saving the planet. So you see what these kids are doing right here? This is no ordinary landscaping project, I promise you. It's called Biodiversity, and if you don't understand the importance of it, ask a fourth grader. More specifically, ask a fourth grader at Hoover Elementary School in Livonia.
What's in that?
You know what? I heard that there's food scraps, there's leaves, there's twigs, and they grind it up. And it's 2.5 years old, the soil that they've created for us.
These 10-year-olds have spent the last year learning about Michigan's indigenous plant and animal life.
You really want the compost in there.
And they get that it's in trouble.
Like bees, because they're pollinators and we need them.
According to the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, in Michigan, right now, there are 27 plants, mammals, reptiles, birds, and butterflies on the endangered or threatened list. That means they're very close to going away because of the chain of ingestion, insecticides, and loss of habitat. Elisa is very, very concerned about her little corner of the planet.
Animals that aren't living anymore, they could get extinct, and then if they die, the animals that they eat, they would get extinct, and then the cycle will, like, they won't have anymore, and then we could die too.
Today, these students planted indigenous species, enough milkweed to attract 14 different species of butterflies, along with plant life that will draw other indigenous life forms to the backyard of Hoover.
Swamp milkweed is the only plant that the monarch will lay its eggs on, and it's the only plant that the caterpillars will eat. Well, what happened over the years is that because of all the new insecticides, they've killed off all the milkweed on the farms. So thus the butterflies can't come back from Mexico because there's no food.
How does it look to you guys? Looks good.
Right now, these small, innocent children are taking on a large responsibility, feeding the earth, so in return, the earth can continue to feed us. So Mrs. Skabinski is one of those fourth grade teachers that makes you say, where was she when I was in the fourth grade? The students did all of the research on the plants, where to place them, how to place them. They raised the money, $1,000. And Karen, I learned something because I know I love to garden. I had no idea that you could use regular newspaper right here as ground cover, and it actually feeds the plants and biodegrades. And here I've been spending all of this money on landscaping fabric. So you see, when you have a question, just ask a fourth grader. Karen?
I like that, and I didn't know that either. Some good advice. Appreciate it. Thank you, Paula. Still to come, baby boom. Superstar Beyonce celebrates her pregnancy with a star-studded baby shower. We are going to share pictures from that big party coming up. Plus, new numbers of a first-of-its-kind report is offering new insight into the number of surgeries performed each year on transgender people. In good health, a first-of-its-kind report offering some new insight into the number of surgeries performed each year for transgender people. And Dr. Frank McGeorge is here with really a growing trend.
Exactly, Karen. You know, these gender confirmation procedures can include everything from facial and body contouring to sexual reassignment surgeries. And the new numbers are now coming from the American Society of Plastic Surgeons.
From an early age, Gara Goldstein knew she was female, but that her body was biologically male.
It was something that was very internalized and something that was repressed because there was no solution.
But after a long journey, she was able to match her outward appearance with who she is on the inside. Plastic surgeon Dr. Lauren Schechter says the number of transgender patients he sees has grown over the past few years, and they're seeking a wide range of surgeries to help them feel comfortable in their own skin.
It's often the last step in what is oftentimes many years of difficulty struggling with issues related to gender and gender identity.
Now, for the first time, experts are keeping track of these surgeries. According to the American Society of Plastic Surgeons, there were more than 3,000 procedures performed in 2016. That's an increase of nearly 20% in the first 2 years of collecting data. Experts say access to care has improved, allowing more patients to work with board-certified plastic surgeons. Gara is now an advocate who is finally at peace with herself.
On a daily basis, when I go through life, I'm not thinking about my gender anymore. Prior to transition, it was impossible to think about anything except my gender.
Now, incidentally, doctors often work in teams well beyond plastic surgeons to not only address a patient's surgical needs, but also really things like hormone therapy and then the emotional therapy that goes into the transition.
It's so important for all those doctors to be working together.
Exactly.
There's a lot to handle.
Right.
All right. Thank you, Doc. All right, well, Ben is back to start our Monday off, and the sun is out and the wind is out as well.
Yeah, the one thing we don't need is rain.
Oh my goodness, my backyard is like flooded.
Yeah, I mean, it is lush, everything's green and growing. We're good there. Unfortunately, we've got multiple chances going forward. So we'll have to be dodging the drops this week. In fact, the first shot could be coming as soon as tonight. We've got a couple of those raindrops that are hanging out in the southern end of Lake Michigan right now. Everything's starting to dry out as it's moving to the east, but there's still just a slight chance that we could have a shower mainly in our north and west zones during the nighttime hours tonight. Otherwise, it's going to be fairly mild. 69 is where we're at right now. Average highs this time of year 72, so we're not too far away from that. Winds are out of the west to 21, gusting a little bit higher, and we will see these gusty conditions at least hang on until we get into the post-sunset hours tonight. Temperatures very close together across the entire area, mid-60s to around 70 with the exception of Sandusky, which is coming in at 62 right now. So looking at those shower chances tonight, again, they're going to be fairly slight, just possibly a dot or so on the map as we get into the later hours of tonight. Tomorrow in the afternoon hours, that's when those rain chances get a little bit better, especially in our north and west zones on Tuesday. Wednesday and Thursday, the chances actually increase significantly, and I think most of us will get wet at some point. This model particularly does not have a good handle on where the rain is going to be on Wednesday and Thursday, but I do think that just about everybody's going to see a shower around, especially as we get into the evening hours on Wednesday. So tonight we'll go down to 54. Clouds will be on the increase, but just to about partly cloudy conditions. Winds will die down. They'll be out of the south 3 to 7 by the time we get towards tomorrow morning. 4-zone forecast is high temperatures tomorrow, and despite the fact that we are going to see a lot more cloud cover and chances of rain again, especially as you get north of Detroit, temperatures are going to be warmer for everybody. 74 in the city, also down in Romulus, 70 downriver. One of the cooler areas maybe down here towards Lake Erie, where we'll see the upper 60s, but generally mid-70s. For most of our south zone tomorrow, west zone temperatures anywhere between 70 and 73, and north of M59 where the best chance of getting wet is, temperatures only slightly lower here. May see a couple 60s out towards the shoreline of Lake Huron. Otherwise, still going to be a fairly mild afternoon tomorrow. And then we get into the 7-day forecast, and of course the holiday weekend is in view, and it does look like we are not going to be completely dry. We can say that with confidence. Best chance of rain is going to be Sunday. Pick day of the 3-day stretch is going to be Saturday. Temperatures not too bad. They're going to be above average, and those morning lows fairly mild too. By the way, tomorrow weather radio day, so come out and see us at Meyer tomorrow. Karen?
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Ben. Still to come, females and finance. When it comes to investing, it turns out women may be better. We've got the reasons coming up next. And paying tributes continue to pour in for Chris Cornell after his untimely death here in Detroit. One band who is remembering Cornell in song.